Florida and its urban jungles. Florida remains the Sunshine State. Its balmy climate and beautiful beaches make it an ideal retirement destination. However, tragedy can strike even in old age. This is the dreadful tale of Gloria Serge. The grandmother was killed by an alligator while walking her dog in her tranquil neighborhood. What happened and why? This and other questions will be answered in the video. Welcome to Wild Assault. Deep beneath the silvery water's surface. This is intense. Alligators are not among the reasons that retirees choose Florida. It is primarily due to the climate, beaches, active adult communities, and lower cost of living. Despite this, many Floridians are aware that they share space with enormous reptiles. In Florida, there are over 1 million alligators, and each one can pose a threat under the right or, wrong conditions. The best way to avoid alligator attacks is to maintain a safe distance from the cold-blooded animals. Since alligators have lived in Florida's waters for centuries and don't appear to be leaving, many residents have come to view them as permanent residents. 20 years ago, Gloria Serge resided in the Spanish Lakes Fairways neighborhood in northern St. Lucie County. And Gloria, like her neighbors, was aware that there were alligators in the lake in her community. However, they have become desensitized to the animals over time. After all, the alligators spent their days basking in the sun and did not appear to pose a significant threat to the community. Even residents of the Spanish Lakes Fairways community had given one of the alligators the name Henry. It was the nature of life and its peculiarities. On February 20, 2023, around noon, Gloria Serge decided to take her dog for a walk. It was a daily occurrence. Her small, black and white Shih Tzu required the physical activity. Gloria cherished her pet dog. At the age of 85, she was a widow. All of her children were adults. She also had numerous grandchildren. On February 20, 2023 at noon, Gloria Serge was the type of person who would have done anything for her dog. She walked with Trooper around the neighborhood. It was a beautiful, peaceful day in a beautiful, peaceful location. Gloria and Trooper eventually made their way toward one of the area's small lakes. The lakes or ponds were connected as they moved toward the larger body of water. Trooper was extremely ecstatic. Once they reached the water's edge, little Trooper seemed captivated by a new and intriguing scent. Gloria sent him packing, not really paying attention to either the dog or the lake. She regarded a location beyond the horizon. She may have been content to let a soldier experience something so obviously exciting to him, but she made a mistake by not paying attention to her surroundings, especially since she was near water in Florida with a small and very active dog. As the woman stood there observing the horizon, something occurred. Something substantial was approaching her. It moved rapidly just beneath the water's surface, causing small waves to ripple. But Gloria Serge was oblivious to it all. Maybe she was too preoccupied with the thoughts running through her head to notice. Trooper on board the woman's small Shih Tzu, like the rest of the crew, was oblivious to the impending threat. But whatever it was that was lurking below the surface of the water was drawing ever nearer with each passing second. And then, just as Gloria was making the first steps toward leaving the edge of the lake, a massive alligator exploded out of the water and lunged for Trooper Gloria Serge. Must have been terrifying. As soon as the alligator emerged from the water, the soldiers began to move erratically, desperate to escape the massive reptile. The sudden movements and fear caused Gloria to fall to the ground with great force. But she did not delay in taking action. She had to rescue a soldier from those enormous jaws. The woman successfully removed the dog from the alligator's path, but at a terrible cost. The alligator turned its attention to her and immediately grabbed her by the leg and began dragging her toward the water. Meanwhile, Carol Thomas, age 76, was alerted by the noise. Gloria submerged as she approached the source of the agitated sounds in time to witness the alligator attacking and dragging a fish. Carol Thomas was beyond frightened, but despite her terror, she did her best to assist Gloria in escaping the water. Carol Thomas immediately dialed 911 to report the assault. A woman is present in the lake. Alligators captured her. She explained to the operator. As she spoke on the phone, she identified Gloria. Reappear for a brief moment. Carol, desperate to assist, urged Gloria to swim toward an overturned paddle boat in the lake, away from the animal. But it was useless. Gloria was submerged once more in a matter of seconds. But Gloria Serge could not be found. Carol Thomas knew in her heart that she could not have arrived earlier. 8 minutes into her 911 call, the woman was certain. Gloria had passed away. I believe she has left. Oh my God. She explained to the operator. She was correct. As soon as authorities received Carol Thomas's call, a trapper was dispatched to the neighborhood. Initial attempts to bring the animal to the surface were unsuccessful. The alligator was obstinate and determined to survive. Robert Lilly, the alligator trapper, subsequently told reporters the following: "It was unquestionably a fight. We captured him near the bottom. He never emerged. He remained seated the entire time. We were able to get a second hook and a hard line in him in order to bring him to the surface." Several individuals struggled to remove the alligator from the lake. The animal was put to death shortly after its capture. The family of Gloria Serge refused to speak with the media. Carol Thomas, who attempted to save Gloria, told the media that she had the opportunity to speak with some of Gloria's community friends. "It is simply terrible, terrible. I spoke with a couple of her friends who were devastated yesterday," the woman said. Once more, Florida authorities had to warn locals against walking their pets near ponds and lakes. Alligators are always on the lookout for prey, and small animals are an easy target. Since July 2022, Gloria Serge was the third alligator fatality. In spite of this, authorities note that the number of attacks in Florida is relatively low. From 1948 to 2021, there were reportedly only 26 fatal alligator attacks in Florida. According to the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, there are an average of 8 unprovoked bites per year in Florida that are severe enough to necessitate medical attention. In the past decade, 3 additional alligators have been removed from the neighborhood following Gloria's deaths. Although it is unknown if these animals originated from the same lake where Serge perished. However, the links are interconnected, allowing alligators to traverse the Spanish Lakes Fairways. This is what HRA President Jay Mandelker said: "If you are walking by a lake or pond in Florida, realize that you are in Florida. There may be alligators present. Therefore, avoid walking along the edges of any pond or lake. Maintain a safe distance.